How much added adrenaline was there out there, not only pitching for the first time of the season, but obviously here at home, opening day starter?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be back. It's been a little while, so it was nice to have the old faithful behind us again and to hear everybody in the stadium. And it was just electric as always here in the Bronx.
When Aaron was asked about your performance, he had mentioned how many different pitches you had used and smiled when he said he even brought out the sinker today. Just overall, how did you feel about your pitch mix?
Yeah, I thought Wells was great with the pitch calling. And, you know, for me, it's just we get a plan together. He calls the pitches, and I just roll. You know, there's not much decision-making on my part. You know, it's just we get in a rhythm. He calls the pitches, I throw, and we featured a lot today, and I thought he was great behind the plate.
That fourth inning, it seemed a little bit of a scary moment. Aaron said he wasn't worried. He thought maybe you were more mad, but just how are you from that? Kind of take us through that play.
Yeah, I was just more mad I didn't make the play. I think I got caught up on my left foot, and you know I know Sal's quick down the line. I finished off to my right. I think I did like a little 180 to get back, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be a bang bang. So it seemed like I was slow getting out of that turn to get to first, and I was trying to pick it up, and I just lost some footing and looked real unathletic there. So yeah, I'm fine. I got a cherry on my knee, and I was telling Pettit, I was like, I haven't had one of those in 16 years, since high school baseball. So you know, I got dirty today.
In the middle and the back, Joe.
Carlos, you mentioned what Austin did behind the plate, but
Yeah.
what did it mean when he goes out there, first step out of the game, and knocks one out of the park, give you the lead there?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he carried it over from spring training. It set the tone for us. I mean, a tough pitch to hit out, too. I mean, Peralta made a good pitch up and in, and he makes a better swing and, you know, deposits it in right, and we're up 1-0. So I think he definitely set the tone for us, and we just ran with it.
Back to the right, Jeff, on the wall.
Carlos, you got 15 swings on your sliders today and 9 misses. What makes your slider its most effective, and when do you know I got the good one today?
I think it's one of those things that, you know, I got to show it in the zone and, you know, prove I can throw it for a strike. And then they have to, when I start throwing it for strikes, they have to offer at it below. And I think a mix of the changeup, it kind of gets them in between. And then the sinker helps out as well, gets them off the four-seamer.
Peter, front row.
Hi, Carlos. You struck out Jackson Chourio 3 times, only needed 11 pitches. Just obviously he's a really tough hitter. Just what kind of went into those battles and allowed you to get the better of him today?
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Chourio, how old is he?
21.
I mean, he's a great hitter at 21 already. I mean, you saw last year, I think his second half, he really turned it on and made some adjustments. You know, it's not, I mean, he might have struck, I don't know how many times he struck out today, but, you know, it's the game of baseball, and he is a great hitter. I mean, you know, we respect him. You know, I'm offering off speed. I'm not throwing him, you know, I'm not attacking him with four seamers. He's, you know, I'm respecting him with other pitches. And, you know, today I made some good pitches to him. I think all of us did. And it was just, you know, one of those turns for him that, you know, he'll turn the page. And I'm sure, you know, he's a great player, but, you know, we were just better than him today.
Anyone else? Eric.
Carlos, you mentioned Austin behind the plate, and it was the first thing that Aaron mentioned when he was in here before you sat down. The 2 years you've been throwing to Austin, just what have you seen from him just defensively?
Yeah, I think
framing, pitch calling, all of those aspects.
Yeah, I mean, his presence behind the plate, he brings a lot of confidence in who he is as a baseball player and as a person, but as a catcher, I mean, the presence he has and the confidence he has in what he does, you know. It's a guy that does his homework. It's a guy that spends, you know, the utmost amount of time here at the ballpark just preparing for the game ahead. And, you know, he's grown tremendously defensively, as we know, but, you know, I think the bat's really starting. I know it's one game, but I mean, he's got a good bat as well.
Mark, your last one.
Carlos, most of your career, you were a fastball slider guy.
Mm-hmm.
You threw 6 different pitches today. Do you, with this whole kind of big repertoire, do you feel like hitters are maybe are less predictable than you used to be?
I would definitely say for sure. You know, the scouting report on me the last few years has been, you know, four seams up in the zone, sliders below. And I'm sure, as you know, the plan as a hitter was to try to cover the fastball, push me down in the zone, cover the fastball, and react to sliders. So I think, you know, the broadening of the repertoire and adding a few other pitches that you move a little different, and the change of speeds, just it definitely makes it less predictable, especially the usage portion of it.